Hi, I am Vishnu Priya, working as an assistant professor in CSE department at JSREC Engineering College. Now, from the preparing for Multivariate Analysis unit, I am going to explain about data collection. Now, let us move on to data collection. First, let us understand what is data means. Data is a collection of fact, figure, object or event collected from different sources. Organization collects data to understand situations to make better decisions. For example, before launching a new product, a company needs to collect information about customer preferences and product demand. This helps the company understand whether the customers will be interested in the new product. Next, we are going to see types of data collection methods. Data collection is mainly divided into two types. First one is primary and second one is secondary data. Primary data is collected directly by the researcher. Secondary data is the data that has already been collected by someone else and it is reused. Primary data can be further divided into quantitative and qualitative data, and secondary data can be obtained from internal sources and external sources. First, let us see primary data collection. Primary data is the original data collected directly by the researcher for a specific purpose. For example, if we want to know students' opinions about online classes, I can directly ask students and collect their answers. That becomes primary data. Next one is quantitative data and qualitative data. These are the two types of primary data. Quantitative data is the numerical data that can be counted or measured. For example, student marks, age, height, attendance percentage are quantitative data. Next one is qualitative data. It is a non-numerical data. It describes opinions, feelings, experiences and ideas. For example, if a student says, I prefer online classes because they are convenient, that is a qualitative data. So simply quantitative means numbers and qualitative means opinions or descriptions. Next we are going to see methods of collecting primary data. There are mainly 5 methods. First is survey and questionnaires. In this method, we ask people a set of questions and record their answers. For example, a college can conduct a survey to know student satisfaction with campus facilities. Second one is interviews. Here, we ask questions directly to a person and get detailed answers. For example, a company can interview customers to understand their expectations. Other primary data methods are observation. In observation, we collect information by watching and recording people, event or activities. For example, a shop can observe which product customer look at the most. Next one is experiments. In this, we conduct a test under controlled conditions to find the effect of something. Next one is focus group discussion. In this method, we discuss a particular topic with a small group of people and collect their opinions and ideas. For example, before launching a product, a company can conduct a focus group to understand customers' opinions about the product. Next, let us look at secondary data collection. Secondary data is the data that has already been collected by someone else for another purpose and it is reused by the researcher. For example, if a company uses an already available government report to study the population of a particular area, that is secondary data. Secondary data is mainly divided into internal data and external data. Internal data is the information collected from within the organization or business. For example, a company can use its previous sales records to identify which product sells the most. On the other hand, external data is the information collected outside the organization. Example, a company uses a government population data to decide where to open a new store. So simply we can say internal data means data from inside the organization and external data means data from outside the organization. Finally, let us see the importance of data collection methods. Data collection methods are important because they help us to collect the right and reliable information. This information helps us understand situations, solve problems, and make better decisions. First, it helps in decision making. Good data helps organizations make correct decisions. Second, it provides accurate information. Proper data collection methods helps us to get reliable and trustworthy information. Third, it helps solve problems. By analyzing data, organizations can identify problems and find suitable solutions. Data collection also saves time, cost because choosing the right method helps us to collect information efficiently. It also helps us understand the customers. Businesses can understand customer needs, opinions, and preferences. Data also helps in planning. Organizations can use data to prepare better plans and strategies. Finally, data helps measure performance. We can check whether the organization's goals and objectives are being achieved. So overall, proper data collection is the first and most important step for getting reliable information and making better decisions.